Hello ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Radolescence and welcome back to another fragrance review. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate the support. And in this video, I want to take a moment of your time to talk to you a little bit about a fragrance that recently came out. I think this is one of the best releases for the year 2016, and it's by the company Zoologist. The fragrance itself is called Civet. Now, here's the bottle. Really nice, classy looking bottle. Actually, the presentation has changed in this newest bout of fragrance releases from the company, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. But just to tell you a little bit about the fragrance first, it was composed by Shelley Waddington, who has her own line, and this was a contribution to Zoologist. So for those of you who know, the creative director for this brand is Victor Wong, who is an amazing individual. I've had the opportunity to correspond with him a few times online, and he is just a stand-up individual. I love Victor Wong and everything that he has done with this company and how far he has managed to take it. And Zoologist is just an appreciation, an admiration, and an affinity for animals and also the habitats in which they exist. So I've had the pleasure of reviewing a few fragrances for this company: Beaver, the original formulation, also Bat, which I love, and I think it's one of the most creative fragrances out there, hence the reason why it's an award-winning fragrance now. And this is the most recent release from the company, and it's called Civet. Now, for those of you who don't know, this company makes fragrances that are influenced or inspired by different animals or the habitats in which they live. So if you look at a fragrance like Bat, it's very sort of dark and damp, and it has a soil note in it, and it has a cavernous feel. It almost reminds you of the cave that a bat would live in, plus some overripe fruits like a banana note, just some food that you would picture a bat feeding off of. Beaver, on the other hand, is very sort of animalistic. It's daring. It has been reformulated, so the newer version I think is even better because the wearability was exceeded and it jumped up a little bit. This one, I think, is one of the most wearable zoologists, so I think that's really, really good news. Now, Civet, the civet cat, is an animal from which the civet note is extracted, let's just put it like that. And I believe it comes from the anal glands of the animal, and it is a note. I mean, they make coffee from the civet cat, from beans that have been digested through its intestines. And I know it sounds really gross. I don't mean to gross anybody out, but this is a very common ingredient in perfumery. But I do want to let you guys know that they don't use any animal ingredients. So this is a completely vegan company. It's just made to evoke, it's an homage to these animals at the end of the day. So this is a really, really wonderful fragrance. I'm excited to talk to you guys a little bit more about it. It's not that much of an animalistic scent, so I think that's good news. And let's go ahead and start things off with the presentation. So let's take a look at the fantastic presentation that is Zoologist Presentations. You have this faux leather, really sturdy construction here on the box. You have a unique image to the fragrance. They do this for every animal, and it kind of looks like a book. You turn it over on the side, and I'm sure that that was the inspiration for it. You have the ingredients here on the back. This is the 60 ml bottle. It only comes in one size. The equivalent to that would be 2 fluid ounces. Now, the older bottles, if you remember, you used to pull on this silk tab, and it used to come out like that. This one is such an improvement. It is magnetic, and I just love doing this to it. So Victor Wong did send me a personalized note, so thank you very much, Victor. And here on the inside, it has some information about the inspiration of the fragrance, as well as the note breakdown, the perfumer, and the concentration, but also remind you that they don't use any animal products. And there is the silhouette of the bottle. That's where it rests. And I'm gonna do it one more time. I love doing that. Here, let's take a look at the bottle. Gorgeous bottle. Really nice graphic. I love the ambery juice on the inside. I just think it matches the golden accents on the bottle. The cap does not click into place, although it is a snug fit. I would just be a little bit cautious about picking it up from the cap. Nothing going on at the bottom nor the back, but the distribution on this one is excellent. I just want to show you guys. Right? Really wide mist. I like how it broadens out towards the end. That was a presentation for Civet by Zoologist. Now, I want to just take a moment to read a little bit of the notes that are on the inside flap, and I did a first impressions of this fragrance, so if you would like to see that, I am going to leave a card up here somewhere. Make sure to check that out. I have a really special guest on that video. This one has such an abundance of notes in it. Now in the top, we have bergamot, black pepper, lemon, orange spices, and tarragon. In the heart, we have carnation, frangipani, heliotrope, hyacinth, linden blossom, tuberose, and ylang-ylang. And then in the base, which is what you're going to smell most of throughout this entire composition, is balsams, so different types of resins from trees, civet, coffee, incense, labdanum, musks, oak moss resins, leather, vanilla, vetiver, and woods. And I'm just gonna do, oops, I messed up. I'm gonna do one of these. I love doing that with the boxes, especially because they have the magnetic edge on the outside. So what does this smell like? Well, it has an ambery nuance. So as soon as you spray it on, it smells golden, it's ambery, it's robust, it's full-bodied, it's dense and pregnant with all these different ingredients and the balsams, but it doesn't smell sappy, it doesn't smell sticky, it doesn't smell like a Christmas tree. There is this note of civet in there, and I am not a fan of civet as an ingredient. I think it smells like halitosis. I think it smells like really bad breath. And I have a civet fragrance oil that I had purchased from creatingperfume.com, and the smell is horrendous. This one, on the other hand, you know, before I started the review and I got this in the mail, the first thing that I thought to myself is, Victor, why civet? Why civet? Of all the animals out there, why did you have to pick this one? It's going to stink. So I had a lot of trepidation going into this, but as soon as I smelled it, I said to myself, this stuff is magical. And I loved it from the very start. And my only, I guess, reservation about it is that I do think it leans a little bit more towards the, feminine crowd, which is not anything bad about this at all. I think men could pull it off as well. I'm going to be wearing this a lot. But I do think that if somebody smells it on you, they'll be inclined to think that it was manufactured for a woman, that it was composed for a woman. And it really is an homage to those older type fragrances, those classic powerhouse fragrances that women wore in the 70s and the 80s. And I think it's such a charming composition, and it's so wonderfully done, and it is one of the most wearable Zoologist fragrances ever. I think this one, Panda, is also pretty wearable. Also Hummingbird and Nightingale, both of which are spectacular. You really need to try this one. You really need to try this one. I have a neurological condition known as synesthesia, and I make an overlap or a connection between different senses. And whenever I smell this one, I just see gold. I see gold everywhere. And it's not even because of the bottle and because it's adorned in gold accents, but there's just something about the smell, the powdery quality, the ambery quality, the balsams, the resins, the rich notes in it that they just do that. And the only other fragrance that has done that for me to such a strong extent is Honey Oud by Floris. This one is wonderful. Definitely make sure you check it out. Let's finish things off by taking a look at the rating. First up, I took a look at the uniqueness and the overall smell, and I love what this perfumer has managed to do with this fragrance is that they took the inspiration of these older, classy type fragrances, yet they made it contemporary, all the while remaining an homage to its predecessors, its ancestors. And this is, if there were one quote that I could use to describe this scent, it's a quote that was popularized by Sir Isaac Newton, and that is, "We are all midgets standing on the shoulders of giants." Longevity on this one is fantastic. You are going to get 10 plus hours. This was no slouch. I sprayed this on my hand before going to bed, woke up the next morning, went throughout that entire day, and I was still able to smell the remnants of it on my skin. This is one of the stronger Zoologist fragrances. I would even go as far as saying this is stronger than Rhinoceros. Projection on this one is no slouch either. Jump up off their skin. It's going to radiate beyond an arm's length for hours upon hours. Versatility on this one is where I think it's a little bit compromised, and I only say that because I think this one is a little bit feminine, and because it's powdery and it's so bold and rich and robust in the composition, I think it would be suitable more for somebody who is a little bit older. But I think this one would work really well in the fall and winter. I mean, cold weather is really when this one is going to shine. I can't wait to wear it a lot more before, this season runs out, and February is right around the corner. We're going to get there before you know it. And wonderful, wonderful scent. Presentation, even that much more of an improvement from what it used to be. Honestly, I'm gonna give this fragrance a 5 out of 5 stars. I want you guys to keep in mind that scent is very subjective. Scent is very personal. So just because I love this fragrance doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to feel the same way about it. But I do think that this is one of Zoologist's best releases, and I have said this on camera in the past. I gave Bat really high scores. I gave this one a really high score, and I don't love all of them. There were some that I thought were just too feminine for me, like Nightingale. But this one, on the other hand, is a wonderful scent. If you have the opportunity to buy a sample, I think you at least owe it to yourself to purchase a sample. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching my review. This has been my review on Civet by Zoologist. If you own or have tried any fragrance from this company, please let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe for future videos. Now, because of the generosity of Victor Wong, I am going to be giving away 2 official samples of this fragrance. So all you have to do is just leave a comment down below, be subscribed to this channel, and you will be entered to win the giveaway. And this giveaway is domestic as well as international. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, I smell well so you can smell good. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care.